they seem to so far be medium to hard. Because so far I played 2 of mine and both of them broke a record.
How easy was it from 1 to 10?
What do you mean?
I mean, was it easy like the most easy story you have?
Margo, you sound like you're in a bathtub.
Yeah, easy. Yes.
I don't know what Terra means with the connection going, having trouble.
Mute your mic and then unmute it.
Now I'm a bit confused because what is currently going on? Why is everyone talking to each other?
Sir.
No idea.
Okay. So.
Still sounding like a best fine. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, so AM, what was your question again? Oh, how hard it was.
The
thing is,
how easy was the story?
I wouldn't put a 1 to 10 scale because that's far too generous of detail for this game. I would put it a 1 to 5, and I think this would be a 1. Because once again, the comparison I normally make is, of course, as I've already mentioned, my self-proclaimed motto for this game would be Omne Ignotum Pro Magnifico. Everything unknown becomes magnificent. And, well, once it's explained, it becomes quite simple. And if you then actually look at a scenario afterwards, and if it's actually simple, that's then a 1. For an example, this scenario, of course, I'm going to read it again, and Taro, you can then, of course, hear the scenario, because I've played this 10 times, so I don't have much interest in playing it right now again. And, of course, the other ones know it already. Scenario is, Tim gets into a taxi. When the driver opens the door for him at the train station, Tim falls out of the vehicle dead. And they came from that to a spider collector had forgotten his extremely venomous spider in the taxi. Tim, who happened to be the next passenger, panicked when he caught sight of the creature and was immediately bitten. And that is a simple one. So, why did he die? Got bitten by a spider and then died. But there are a lot harder ones. Yeah. Let's finish the part of the thing that happened. So, as mentioned, so venomous and poison is very fucking big difference. So, if something bites you, it was venomous. If you bite something and then you die, that was poisonous. So, as was mentioned, of course, frogs and all that stuff. Now, another big thing was the debate about, that you had about envenomation, or rather, a person's poisoned. Well, the stab wound must have been there to save him, so the venom can be sucked out, or the poison can be sucked out. First of all, if it's poison, and you fucking suck it out, you're dead as well. First of all, sucking it out. So, human bloodstream is, of course, quite heavy. Because the human heart is quite literally an engine, meaning all of the blood gets pumped throughout and so on and so forth. So you imagine a fucking water, constant water flow. So water pressure, basically. And if you then eventually inject something into that, it's going to get carried around the body quite quickly, especially the more stressed you are. So if you then cut something open and then try to suck something out, you're not sucking the venom out, you're sucking some other bullshit. Most of the time, of course, already infected tissue. And if it's poison, you're fucked, because poison, of course, is designed to keep you away from ingesting it. Venom, on the other hand, is equally as dangerous because it can also have very similar effects. For an example, if that in any way comes into your bloodstream, you're fucked as well. Or then, of course, if you're allergic, there are too many side effects. So sucking out venom is never a fucking good idea. Although I can give you a few tips on how to survive certain venom attacks. Primarily scorpions. Because scorpions is, of course, quite a common in venomation. And also, did a scorpion bite him? If a scorpion bites you, then you fucking slap it because it was stupid enough to actually bite you instead of sting you. They have a stinger for a reason. They don't bite. They don't have venom in their fangs. Which, by the way, actually look like little claws.
Okay, anyway, what the heck happening here, and what did the monster did?
We're having a conversation.
You're
if you want to join, then join it.
Mouth.
If not, then yeah, it would be quite nice if you would.
Dad,
be
what
quiet.
are you? Don't make me get my dad in here, baby! And they play seem good for me.
And
Like at least 16.
too old to join the conversation. Blocked. There we go. That is dangerously young. But anyway. So back to the thing. If a scorpion stings you, of course, mainly if you're in hotter temperatures and all that stuff, and the scorpion stings. By the way, quick thing: how to identify a dangerous scorpion from a non-dangerous one. First of all, the main rule of thumb, which is not always the case, but the main rule of thumb is the bigger the claws and the thinner the tail, the more harmless it is. Because the big claws are there to crush the prey. So they run up to something, crush the insect, and then eat it. But also, scorpions and spiders are not insects. So your question of was he collecting insects? No, no, no.
It
Those are
was a
arachnids.
movie.
Very big difference.
Oh God!
Quite actually very, very big difference because
I'm
behavior-wise,
not that far away
character-wise,
from that.
everything-wise, basically. But anyway, so point being, big ones, they crush their prey. They don't generally have to sting. They don't have to venom of a bee sting or or wasp sting. The ones with the very thin claws, on the other hand, and the thicker tails, those are really fucking it. They don't always have to have the very fattest tail. For example, the most dangerous scorpion in the world, well, most venomous one, Liurus concostriatus, also known as the Death Stalker, mainly comes from Turkey. That one has a very thin tail, but has very thin claws as well. Those thin claws are mainly there to hold the prey.
Why everyone hates
And then, of course, if it wants to hold the prey, how does it kill it? With a venom that acts very quickly. And that's, of course, the most venomous one, so, yeah. But anyway, the most dangerous one is actually Androctonus australis from, well, Africa, even though it's called Australis. But anyway, that guy, that fucker, although he might also be in Australia now, that fucker is actually the most dangerous scorpion in the world because Africans don't wear fucking shoes. That's the only reason. Has the highest kill count. Although there's one from India currently competing against that. Some Hottentotter species. And yes, there's actually a scorpion called Hottentotter, which is a weird name. But anyway, thing is, so how do you survive? Why do I point out scorpion venom? Because scorpion venom you can survive, even if they are quite dangerous and even if they could kill you potentially. So, how do you survive it? It has to be quite specific. But anyway, let's imagine. You get stung by a very dangerous scorpion. The thing you have to do then is you have to go as quick as you can, but also as calmly as you can to the next hot water supply. And then pour as hot water as you can even stand over the, over the sting area. And of course the surrounding area. And what you're doing then is the following. First of all, by staying calm, you're avoiding the venom spreading through your entire body that quickly. Meaning it's less effective at actually hurting you that much. But anyway, point being, you go to the hot water, and scorpion venom is mainly built on egg white. So the main connecting tissue of it is egg white. And egg white, as we hopefully all know, dissolves at a certain temperature. Well, not even that hot of a temperature. So if you pour hot water over it, very hot water of course, as much as you can stand, of course, don't fucking burn your entire arm, become Two-Face, although two-arm in this case. But anyway, let's say, once you pour that over, the egg white gets dissolved and the scorpion venom becomes, in some cases, even 50% less dangerous. And I know a person that has survived about 3, probably nowadays more than 3 scorpion stings by that. Because that fucker constantly takes pictures of scorpions, macro pictures, and then wants to say, oh, a bit closer, and he just gets stung in the finger again. Fucking moron. But anyway, so yeah, that's a tactic for that. Other than that, let's say snake venom, for example. Oh, suck it out. Never fucking suck it out. First of all, infecting the bite area. Because if you're bitten, it's already bad enough. But if you're then actually giving your fucking bacteria to it, that are in your mouth, not a fucking good idea. There are even some animals that kill with that. Komodo dragons, for example, which also have venom, but their venom is a more basic venom, because all venom, by the way, is a basic saliva. So human saliva, and imagine that to be more specific with more harmful bacteria and all that stuff, that's simply venom. And Komodo dragons, or general monitor lizards, have a saliva that's designed exactly for it. They bite something, and their effect is, if they bite you, you don't fucking stop bleeding. Komodo dragon, for example, all it has to do, bite you once, and yes, they will actually go after humans and try to kill them, which they can definitely do. They bite you once, then they might let you go. So first of all, they rip your skin open, and second of all, you now start bleeding, and you never fucking stop. Unless, of course, you put a bandage over it and go into safety. But so you're running, blood is pumping faster, and you're just gonna fucking bleed out. The complete opposite, rattlesnakes, which is the most common. Suck it out. Fuck off sucking it out. So, rattlesnake bites you. What does a rattlesnake do? Rattlesnake turns your blood into fucking pudding. Simple as that. Your blood completely clogs up your veins, and therefore your heart stops. Because your blood just simply can't run anymore, meaning your heart just simply can't pump anymore because it's a pump with a complete still water flow. And that's then how you die. And the spider in the scenario, for an example, some people actually try to guess the spider, where they just tell them it doesn't fucking matter, because most of them, of course, guess Black Widow. Black Widow, while having a very, very dangerous toxin, latrotoxin, quite simple to remember because the scientific name for the spiders is actually Latrodectus. So in America would be the Mactons, in Australia would be the Hasselti, which is actually 7 times more venomous than the Mactons in America. But anyway, they have a latrotoxin which is highly potent, but once you get bitten by one of those, you have a 99% chance of actually surviving. Because they have such a minute amount that it's not deadly to humans, only to children and old people. I think the last reported death of a black widow was in the 1970s, if I recall correctly. So, not... Old people. Old people. Or of course sick people as well. And once again, dangerous absolutely, but not deadly. So if you get bitten by a black widow, you absolutely go to the hospital, but you generally will survive. But of course it will make you feel like you want to die. Of course then there are the two contenders for what this spider in this scenario could be. The first one would be the second most venomous spider in the world, the Sicarius species. It used to be Pterosus, now I think Tomosoides, how the fuck it's called. Known as the six-eyed sand spider. I can't stand common names because they're normally quite shit, but anyway. You might know spiders generally have 8 eyes. This one, of course, has 6 eyes. It's a sand spider. You might have seen lovely videos of it on YouTube. Those are the ones that sit in the sand and bury themselves. They throw sand over themselves, hide under the sand, come up and then bite. Now they have a venom that has an effect of necrosis. So once they bite you, your tissue dies off. So if you get bitten by those, depending of course where, you can lose an entire finger, your hand, your arm, or perhaps it basically dissolves your organs. Simple as that. And you don't want to get bitten by those. But deadly, many times, but not
Is that kid still
fully.
here? Is that kid still here? Where is he?
I don't know who's still here. So far everyone should be.
Because I wanted to know what the fuck is his dad gonna do?
Oh, that kid. Okay, I blocked that kid, so
Oh,
I don't
the
fucking
little
know.
one. Yeah, he's gone.
Oh,
He
for
gone.
fuck's sakes. Oh, fuck.
Don't be so excited over a kid. You will meet a lot of those. And they will all have the same thing to say. Especially, oh my dad is gonna do, yeah. Come back once you
shut the
are the
fuck
one
up.
threatening me, not your fucking dad. Anyway, thing is, now let's quickly come to the one that is actually in the scenario. If one would have guessed it, I would have of course said, yeah, absolutely, let's take it that as a spider. So that is of course the Phonutrias. What is Phonutrias? Phoenutria, which is by the way also a female name, but anyway, Phoenutria, well at least sounds like a female name, means quite literally something, I think, evil killer or some other bullshit. Basically the name is program in this kind of scenario. So Phoenutria, mainly of course Fera, the Brazilian wandering spider, which you might also know as banana spider, because there is a YouTuber who at some point made a fucking video that has him animating a spider coming out of a banana. So spider was somehow inside the banana, he poked it open with a little pen from the back, and animated it coming out. Spiders don't fucking hide in bananas.
Oh, good thing I don't eat bananas
put their
anymore.
egg sac on it. Yeah, but once again, that's kind of bullshit. But anyway, so what does a Phoenutria do? Because these medical results are quite interesting. So if a Phoenutria bites you, by the way, that's the most dangerous spider on the planet. And
Is
the
it
most
treatable?
venomous. I
Holy
don't know. I think if you have 30 minutes time to treat it, probably. But so what does it do? First of all, it once again fucks with your heart, but what does it precisely do? It raises your blood pressure level to the point of your arteries popping. And the first thing that dies generally is actually your penis. Because you die with a fucking raging boner because you can't control it, and then your penis basically gets erect because of course blood shoots everywhere and arteries pop in it, and yeah, painful as fuck. Then you lay there with spasms on the ground until you eventually die. And yeah, that's that. And another thing is I had a lovely debate at one point, although it was more of a it's not discussion, which was if it's used, if a Phoenutria venom is used more in antivenin or if it's used more in Viagra, because it's used in both. So yeah, Viagra, there is many times Phoenutria venom in there, because well, it absolutely will get you an erection. But of course they have to look out that it's not killing you and all that stuff in the process, but still. Also, why is it the most dangerous as well? Because those fuckers are aggressive as fuck. They will act, this is one of the only spiders that will perhaps actually go after you. Although generally, of course, they just run away, but they're aggressive as fuck. So anyway, that's the end of the Phoenutria. And anything else on that? Yeah, so basically don't suck fucking venom out. If you get stung by a scorpion, hot water over it.
Stop spamming my buttons on again.
And that is that. Yeah.
Well,
I kept
Just
spamming
summing
my
up
buttons,
basics.
I got kicked again.
Yeah.
Shall we do another round of Black Stories? I think I remember another